Laugh my ass off.
Hello, my name is Gene Salisbury, and this is Therapeutic Half-Hour, sponsored by Diet Sugar-Free, Gluten-Free, Superior Maximum, Cherry Vanilla, Dr. Professor Sergeant Pepper Soda, a taste so crisp and so refreshing that you will even forget your own name. Now, today on this episode of Therapeutic Half Hour, I'm going to be playing the early access game released on Steam earlier in March, I believe, called Killing Floor 2. Now, I'm sure as you are all well aware, early access games on Steam are quite a bit like my daughter Anastasia. They are aborted fetuses. However, Killing Floor 2, I've only played about 2 matches so far. Also, I should note that this is going to be a single player match so that I don't have any fools trying to ruin the game for me, because I am very capable of ruining the game for myself. With that in mind, I'm going to be playing by myself. It is going to be just me taking on what the game likes to call Zeds, what literally everybody else in the world besides the Walking Dead television show, comic book, and video game series calls zombies. Now you are probably wondering, Gene Salisbury, I thought this was a therapeutic show. Why are you playing a game that is very violent and very non-therapeutic? And dear YouTuber, and I say YouTuber because probably only one person is ever going to watch this video, I say that killing zombies is therapeutic because we as human beings are extremely violent in nature when it comes down to it, and so the only kind of therapy that can match that violence is violence itself. With that being said, this is my YouTube series, and if you do not like the games I play, well, please let me know in the comments below, and then I will proceed to ignore those comments and continue to play whatever game that I want to. So, some of the changes from Killing Floor 2, the new Killing Floor 2, the game obviously looks nicer, not just the graphics, but the UI looks very much nicer. Also, the maps are very destructible. See, watch that. With my shovel, I can destroy this Biocola station. You could not do that in the first Killing Floor, I believe. I could be wrong, though. I did not play very much of the first Killing Floor. The gameplay is mostly the same. However, the new gore system is very much improved. Melee weapons are actually quite usable in the game now instead of being complete trash like the last game. They were basically Floyd Mayweather the last game because Floyd Mayweather is a piece of trash, and no, I am not bitter about that boxing match because I am Gene Salisbury and I do not care very much for boxing. However, if I did, I would be extremely mad at Floyd Mayweather. Ah yes, so the invisible zombies freak me out and I really do not like them. Another thing about this game is that the reloading is quite slow for my tastes. Also, the new slow-mo system looks much better than the first game because it goes to black and white. However, the red blood is not black and white, so when you go into slow-mo, I suggest using a sword or shovel so that you can see the splashes of blood all over, and it is a very cool effect. And no, see, look, the reload is slow, and before you ask, no, I am not a serial killer. That was never proven. So anyways, back to the game. Before I go into a therapeutic technique, I want to focus on the game a little bit more, because one of the comments I received from the first episode of Therapeutic Half Hour was that I did not concentrate enough on Super Mario Galaxy, which I completely understand. So for that reason, there will not be any phone calls on this episode of Therapeutic Half Hour. And I say that's the reason, but it's mostly because I forgot to pay my phone bill this month. so I cannot make any calls to anyone because if I did, that would be quote unquote illegal. So, anyways, uh, these you could do waves of 4, 7, and I think there's one more with 4 degrees of difficulties, with the lowest being normal. I am doing normal because I suck at this game, and I, I don't want to do more than normal by myself. If I were with a team of 6 people, I would most definitely go higher than normal, but since I am not, I will only do the normal difficulty. One other thing to note about this game is that it is an early access game, so it is not completed. There is still content coming out because content-wise, it is a little bare bones at the moment. I believe there are only about 4 classes and 3 maps you can play on right now. However, the developer of the game, I believe Tripwire is their name, they seem to be pretty good at what they do, so I would trust them with their money, or with your money, I should say, if it were up to me. So yes, this is Killing Floor 2. I would recommend it, especially if you were a fan of the first Killing Floor, and if you are not a fan of the first Killing Floor, I would recommend watching more videos of people that are actually good at the game, and for people who have their audio matched up with the video, I have just noticed that the video and audio are not matched up anymore. I might literally kill myself if this is still an issue with the rest of the video. So keep that in mind, just listen to my sultry voice instead of watching the video. Oh, maybe I should pay attention to the game I'm playing instead of the video quality itself. Dang, that is disappointing. So here's another cool thing. You can change what your person looks like. Instead of the first Killing Floor where they all look the same, these characters are all extremely different, and you can even change the color of clothing, or even put some sunglasses on your character, or even regular glasses if you want your character to be a fucking nerd. Okay, so I think now that I've described the game a bit, I'm going to go back into why this channel is or not this channel, but this video series, Therapeutic Half-Hour, why it is a thing. So, I'm going to start out with a little anecdote. Sorry if my words are fumbling, I am literally too drunk to be doing this right now. So anyways, recently I visited my decrepit, bitter old grandmother. She is 104 years old, and she is looking pretty fit for who is literally the poster child for doctor-assisted suicide in these United States of America. So anyways, back to my grandmother. She was trying to form a sentence, but she couldn't because she is a bitter old bitch. However, I noticed her hands were shaking, and I said, "Grandmother, my dearest grandmother, why are your hands shaking?" But she didn't respond because she's a fucking old bitch and she cannot form sentences or words anymore. So when I got back to my house from the old person's home where my decrepit old grandmother was, I thought to myself, man, I should probably start helping people out with their own ideologies, their own emotions, so they do not end up like my whore of a grandmother in an old person's home where they can wither away and die. So I decided to make a YouTube channel where I would share some therapeutic techniques that I have not only discovered but used every single day of my life. And I decided to play video games while doing it so that I could have the screen show something visually interesting while the viewers are getting some new information from my new techniques. So with that, and one more thing I should add is that I chose to have it be about a half-hour long because I believe an hour-long session would be too much. Therapists who don't use videos, who use one-on-one client conversations, they like to do hour-long sessions, but for me personally, since I am having a more broader audience, I believe the smaller the video, the more generic I can make it so that it can apply to more than one person. So with that all being said, I believe now is the time to start going into today's therapeutic technique. So since most of my audience is basically just a bunch of teenage boys who don't know who women are, today's technique is going to be about not only gaining more confidence in yourself, but also getting all of the pussy while doing so. So today's technique is going to require a fair bit of money, say somewhere in the range of $20,000 to $100,000. Or if you do not have money, it will require some thieving skills because you will need to steal things. So today's technique is all about confidence. It is all about gaining women. So I call this technique the Iron Man because in the Marvel comic books, television shows and movies, Iron Man is very confident and gets all the ladies. So with that in mind, let us now discuss the Iron Man technique. So the first thing you are going to want to do is throw away every single clothing item you possibly have. Why do you need to throw out every single clothing item? Because you are not confident, you are a wretched, soulless human being, and with that, your clothes represent that past side of you, that soullessness that you once had, but you are now getting rid of that soullessness and you are gaining a soul. So therefore, all those clothes you have previously worn, this is excluding underwear and socks, you will still need those. So you're going to get rid of your underwear, get rid of, no, time out, I got ahead of myself. Do not get rid of your underwear or socks. Keep those because those don't really affect your soul very much. This has been researched in studies by me. They are not in any scientific journal because I am not allowed within 100 feet of a scientific journal because I am not actually a licensed therapist, nor am I a doctor or professor of any kind. I just do this on my own. So anyways, back to the soul gathering. Throw away your clothes, burn them, just get rid of them. They are no longer needed. What you need to do is go out and buy a single outfit. This needs to be pants, a shirt, a jacket, maybe a hat if you need them, and some shoes. I suggest going to a Goodwill and getting the cheapest things available because you are not going for fashion. You are going for inexpensive. You want to get the very single cheapest items you can buy. And why do they need to be cheap? Because money is meaningless to you. Material objects need to become meaningless to you. That means your clothes should probably be extremely ugly. And by ugly, I mean ugly enough that you could get attention from the ladies. So ladies will come up to you and say, so and so, why is your outfit so ugly? So with these ugly clothes, and again, one outfit, and why only one outfit? Because you need to wear these clothes all the time. And I mean 24/7. Even in the shower, just use the shower as a place to wash your clothing. So, why do you need to wear these clothes all the time? Because if you want to develop a soul and it needs to be your own soul, you need to use the soul clothes, and the soul clothes are the cheap ones from the Goodwill. And oh my goodness, this sound on the Killing Floor video is so out of sync, and I don't know how that happened. I don't know how my recording software did that, but I'm going to sue NVIDIA for all of the money they're worth after this because this is extremely aggravating. But I have it low enough so that you fools can't hear it. But the only reason you are noticing it is because I'm saying so. So this is extremely unprofessional of me. Wow, I may have made a mistake. Oopsies. So anyways, back to what I was talking about earlier, the Iron Man technique. So once you are in your clothes, which should consist of a pair of underpants which you have previously owned, a pair of socks you have also previously owned, a new pair of shoes from a Goodwill, these need to be very inexpensive shoes, a pair of very inexpensive pants, a jacket, also a shirt underneath that jacket, and maybe a hat if you are feeling adventurous. So what you also need is a pair of scissors or a knife or something very sharp that can cut things. Because what you are going to do is you are going to rip the arms off of the jacket and the lower part of the pants to make them into shorts. It's because when you give it that ripped look, they look like even more shitty, and the shitty look is what you want. I repeat, you want to look terrible. Now you are probably asking, Gene Salisbury, why would I want to look intentionally terrible? And the reason that you need to look intentionally terrible is because you need people to notice you. You need people to say, hey, why is that dude wearing an absolutely ridiculous outfit? And that is how you start a conversation. You start a conversation by talking about your outfit, and then once your outfit has been talked about enough, you take that conversation and you steer it into new subjects. So with this ridiculous outfit that looks awful, you are going to make new friends, and not only make new friends, you are going to get the attention of every girl you have ever dreamed of, and through your conversations with her that have been started by this completely grotesque outfit of yours that you have concocted and shredded into, you are going to become a more confident human being, not only with the ladies, but with all people around you. So how do you steer the conversation from your clothes to something new? Literally anything else. You are all probably wondering this because you are all extremely socially awkward. I mean, for God's sakes, you're what, 17 minutes into a video game let's play where a dude is telling you how to pick up chicks. You are socially awkward, okay? So how do I steer this conversation from my clothes? Because when you're talking about the outfit, there's going to come a point where neither party can say anything new. And so once you have reached that point into the conversation, what I suggest you do is bring up a new subject. So maybe she will say, yeah, that outfit is very crazy, as a way to signal to you this conversation is over. Please bring up a new subject, or I will proceed to go away and stop talking to you. And you do not want that. She may not want that. I don't know. I do not have any sort of contact means with every single woman on the planet. So she may not want to continue talking to you. So what you need to do is force it, because there are two things women love in this world. They love to be ignored, but they also love being forced into things. Except rape. I do not condone rape on this YouTube series. Please do not rape people. So anyways, back to the technique. So what you want to do is you want to force the conversation into something new. So for example, you say, she'll say, yeah, that outfit is crazy, haha. And then you say, oh, so Marcy, have you seen the new Avengers film, The Age of Ultron? And from that, you start a new conversation about the new Marvel film, Avengers Age of Ultron, and then you talk about that. If she says no, she has not, maybe you ask her if she has seen another one of your favorite films. So then you can kind of adjust the conversation based on her taste and go from there. And you don't even have to talk about pop culture things. You can talk about your family. You could talk about maybe your church if you're religious. I doubt any of you are. Maybe you could talk about your lack of religion. I don't know. I am not you. You just take the conversation and, like a car, you steer it. You have to steer the car. You also have to steer the conversation. It makes sense. And so once you steer the conversation into the direction you want, you keep it there, or you can even steer it to other places. Think of a conversation as a road and the topic as the car. You you can stay in the car, but you can also steer the car to new places and then get out of the car and go to those places. And eventually, just like cars going places, all of this will eventually lead to sex. And isn't that the main goal in life, is to produce new children, new human beings? I believe it is. But I am not a judge or a doctor. I am just an unlicensed therapist. So I believe that is it for the Iron Man technique. To sum it up, 1. Destroy and burn all of your clothes except your underwear and socks. 2. Get new clothes from the local Goodwill and make sure they are as ugly as possible. 3. Use these new clothes to initiate conversations with other people. People? Well, why did I get a new accent? I don't know. But anyways, initiate conversations with new people, including women. 4. After the 2 or even more people are done with that conversation, use your newfound confidence to gain a new conversation with these people and make new friends and or enemies. So, it looks like I am probably going to die soon because I only have 6, 5, 4, 3. Oh, it keeps going down. My armor does. And I only have a little bit more than half my health and everything wants to kill me, including this guy. So I believe this is about the end of the video. Thank you for watching and make sure to watch some more. This is Gene Salisbury. This has been Therapeutic Half-Hour. Thank you so much for watching.